What's going on, guys? Hunter Hettling here, and today we're going to be talking about back. So one of the biggest questions that I get with training back is how to remove the bicep out of the equation. So today I'm going to take you guys into the gym with me, and I'm going to show you what I do to get rid of that problem. Let's go. Alright guys, so after a quick warm up, I went ahead and started with a seated cable row. So with all of these movements here today, went ahead and kept the weight reasonable. That way I could really focus on that contraction in the back. To minimize a lot of the strain in the bicep, I do a few things. The first thing you can actually see here and in the next clip, you'll notice that my thumb is actually over the bar as opposed to wrapping around it. The other thing that I'll go ahead and do is really focus about pulling the weight through my elbows. Notice I'm pulling my elbows back. That weight is not being pulled through my wrist. So when I combine those two things together, you really notice that your hands are only being used as a hook around the bar, and you're really only pulling with the muscles in your back. The next movement I did after that, went ahead and jumped into the dumbbell pullover. Now this is a great movement. I love doing this, and it can either be incorporated on a chest day or a back day. I went ahead and threw it in on my back day today. Now don't be afraid to go heavy with this. Really focus on going down and getting a deep stretch up at the top. If it gets a little too heavy, you can always drop the weight, but really focus on going down and getting a good solid stretch in. This here is another really great movement that you don't really see all too often. Go ahead and put on a handle, and you want to have square edges on it. So what you're going to do is just focus on bringing the elbows from flared out at the top and really squeezing them in towards the bottom, and that's going to give you a really solid contraction in the lat. After that, went ahead and jumped into some lat pull-downs with the rope. Now what that's going to go ahead and do is also it's going to be really good for the width of your back. You can also go ahead and do this with a straight bar if you choose, and I do that every once in a while, but today we went ahead and incorporated it with the rope just to switch things up a little bit. I'm seeing the pain, seeing the pleasure. Nobody but you, body but me, body but us, bodies together. I love to hold you close tonight and always. I love to wake up next to you. So we'll piss off the neighbors. Now, as you just saw right there, on all of these movements, I actually like to retract the scapula. I find that really one of the major keys to focusing on that mind-muscle connection. Another thing I like to do is hold that contraction for 1 to 2 seconds right at the peak and really focus on getting that tight squeeze. It's a paradise and it's a war zone. It's a paradise and it's a war zone. So this right here is one of my favorite movements for hitting your traps. A lot of people actually think that your traps are only hitting like right at the base of your neck. What people don't know is that your traps actually go all the way down to about your mid-back. So by doing this movement and pulling up at first with the base where everybody thinks is right at your neck, and then really pulling back and getting that tight squeeze at the end, and that's going to hit that center back that a lot of people actually neglect. After that, we went ahead and jumped into some heavier dumbbell shrugs. And now on this, I really like to hold the weight again and like really squeeze that, get that really good contraction right there at the top. Now on this one, I also use that hook grip that I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, where my thumb is actually wrapped over the bar as opposed to around it. And again, that really helps remove the bicep out of the equation. You'll see that again right here. I am really holding that contraction and squeezing as tight as I possibly can right at the very top. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you out. If it did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and like it, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see in the next video.